You love Disneyland. To not go to Disneyland will cause you horrible pain. All you want is to help Disneyland thrive. To not go to Disneyland makes your stomach ache with needle-like hey, Mues. I was just introducing everyone to the Goin podcast, the Rap Critic and Mues, and telling them all the fun I had at Disneyland.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, sorry, I seem to have developed on the flight over a unique bone disease that makes it impossible for me to say the S in Disneyland, but...
That's concerning.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get a bone marrow transplant so that, that won't be in the problem in the future, but... Well, what's going on, all you folks? Just came to tell you about the wonderful time I had at Disney and all the wonderful products that you can get there.
Oh.
I took some pictures, had a good time, got to see lots of, the stunts and stuff like that, the Marvel stunts that were going on all around there. That was really cool. Got to see the Spider-Man one and recorded it just in time to be like, will anything happen this time? What? It was good. Okay.
You got the pictures of Spider-Man. You're going to get that raise.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going to to get the picture.
Jojo Shabadoo. Yeah.
I'm going to Jojo Start. You know who he is.
You know the one.
Anyway. But yeah, it was really cool. I went on a whole bunch of rides. Oh my God. So I got to tell you guys about this, all right? Reporting live. The warning. Before you go to Disneyland. Guys, if you are going to Disneyland, either bring a small bag and one that is closable and zippable, or don't bring one at all, because they do not let you do the little thing where you can put your bags in a little cubby now. No, you have to take it on the freaking ride with you. And so you're just okay. Yes, Tom, every time. You have, no matter what the intensity of the ride, they don't let you put it to the side anywhere. They're just like, no, just put it under there. And so I just came with my dumbass is thinking I'm slightly over preparing because I'm who knows, it might be too hot. Let me bring a change of clothes. Let me bring my 3DS or whatever the heck, make sure I got stuff to kick and chill. Yeah. And I bring a shopping bag, one of those non-disposable bags, to take with you.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to put it over to the side. And they're like, oh no, you better take that on with you. And I'm like, what? So I have to tie it up with the little straps real quick and hope we don't get any loop-de-loops, which there were.
You were sitting in line for the Tower of Terror. It fucking stays at the top of the goddamn ride and you fucking free fall. In parachutes.
Oh no! Hits me in the chin as it goes. The oof. The Disneyland Park no longer allows you to put your bags in a cubby, so better store that shit and keep it small. And you can see the animation of Goofy bringing the bulky ass shit so he can put his fucking Disney ears and the big ass fucking Lilo and Stitch puppets. You know what I mean, in his bag.
You're about to look this dumb if you don't listen to this video.
So yeah, it was kind of oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? And of course, one of the ones I go on is Splash Mountain, and so a friend just happens to sit in front of me that gets a bulk of it. But oh dear listener, thank Almighty God, I should be thanking God that I just happen to have the ironclad grip that I just happen to have on the opening at the exact moment that we happened to be going down. Because I was getting on the ride and I was like, oh my God, my phone is still in my pocket. No. Gotta put that in there. And so I had to untie the thing, retie the thing, and hold on tight. A freaking just torrent of water slides right over a couple of seconds after I put it, and I just happened to have it tied on tight. And I was like, oh my God, this thing, if I had just left it there unattended and just been oh, I'm sure it'll be fine, all my shit would have been officially fucked up. Man. So, the thrillometer was up at least 0.5 percentage more for all the rides that I had to do. But I will say kind of slightly, a bit disappointingly, the rides weren't as intense as some of the cool ass rides, in theme parks I've been on before. Six Flags takes the cake. Carowinds has been a little bit, but Busch Gardens and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The intensity rides are definitely consistently more intense. I will say that much. But as far as like imagery and aesthetics, those are really cool. Like I'll say like Ichabod's Wild Ride. That one is the shit. Like definitely go on that one where it's like, yeah, it's not as much high intensity, but you have a good time with the visuals, and it literally ends with Ichabod. It ends with Mr. Toad going to hell. So it's like one of those things that's like, that's just how it ends. It's just like, yep, kids, if you want adventure too much or whatever the hell Mr. Toad's sin was, you're going to hell. So that was definitely a fun one. The Alice in Wonderland was cool, but it wasn't as like cool of a thrilling ending with how it ended up going. But it was, had some cool imagery in it. Let me see. There was the Incredibles one. I think that was the most thrilling ride one. I think that was the most worth going on to. Half of the rides I didn't get able to go on to, like the fucking the one with the the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 crew, because some of these rides you have to fucking pay for and shit. Like it's just like, excuse the fuck out of me. Like felt like Jay and Silent Bob, like, what the fuck? Whatever happened to ride that shit for free? Did we used to ride that shit for free as kids? Like what the fuck is going on?
I think the last theme park I'd been to was Carowinds, and that was a really long time ago. But when you said something about Marvel stunts, that did remind me that when I was living up in New Jersey, our go-to was Six Flags. And I would always love to go see the stunt shows. Looking back, they're really corny. Like, a lot of them are, were videotaped.
It's good, cheesy fun. It's for the jokes and the puns or whatever happened this past week in the news,
The two I remember were Lethal Weapon, which I never saw any of the Lethal Weapon movies, so to me it was just an action stunt show, and I didn't realize what any of it meant.
Action stunt show.
But I loved Batman Forever, so I knew what was going on there. So they had the Riddler, and they had Two-Face, and they had the Batmobile, skirt, all over the place, and all the fucking fire, and the explosions was always cool, and people landing in things with water.
They're playing the Method Man song, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's the Riddler.
I'm glad you were able to provide the people a nice public service announcement because, in case anyone's going out to California this summer and wants to take in the sights and sounds and thrills, then there's apparently a lot to know.
Be warned.
I never would have known.
I was a fool.
Now, something I wanted to say, and this isn't nearly... have you ever seen the movie My Dinner with Andre?
No, I haven't, actually.
Okay, so neither have I until very recently, and I just kind of watched it on a whim. So basically, it's a movie of a podcast almost. It's just two people at dinner, and they just talk.
Wallace Shawn is in it, right?
He goes to dinner with a friend of his, Andre, who is this eccentric actor he hasn't seen in years. And when they sit down and talk, Andre is telling him about all his worldly ventures and all the adventures he's going on, all the places he's been, all the weird, wild stuff he's been a part of, all his experiences. Then the other guy is just like, I like my comfortable life, not really thrilling. I like order and structure. So Andre is just kind of trying to tell him hey, comfort, is complacency, and you got to get out there and see the world and all that. So it just reminds me you talking about your Disneyland adventure and all this fun stuff, and I'm over here being like, oh, RC, something I was thinking about. The song Big Pimpin'?
Sure.
I always thought, and I want to see if you know what I'm talking about. I always thought the riff, the riff, I thought it went da 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 da. Yeah, right? Yeah. Do you hear anything wrong with that? I'll do it one more time. Da 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 da.
I hear some sort of rhythm thing going on, but I'm not quite...
I was made aware very recently that it is not, in fact, da 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 da. It's actually just da 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 da.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Da.
Yeah.
I thought the last note was two notes, and it's not two notes. It's just one prolonged note. I know the off-goers are just enthralled by this discovery of mine, but you don't understand. It was a musical Berenstain Bears moment for me. Because that was like, what, 97, 98? Most of my life, I've got that riff wrong.
There's a Ludacris song that has a similar flamenco sample. Yeah.
Roll out.
That was like a thing at the time, because wasn't there also that Tommy Mottola lives on the road, that Ghostface Killer song?
Oh, I was about to say I don't know what that is, but okay. Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Weird people sampling flamenco thing in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know. There was also a thing of, I know this is also getting random again. There was also a thing of like Jamaican people randomly talking on songs. Like, if you listen to like,
I think that's Wyclef Jean's influence there.
But I think it was just like a general like, hey, we want to get like rapper voices from Jamaica, but we don't really want to give them like versions of the songs, and we're just gonna have them just like talk, like, because there's like two Tupac songs where that happens. It's Hail Mary, where at the end where the guy was like, this is the time for we liberty, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, and then there was what was the other one? It was like Hit 'Em Up, where it's like, so and so better respect Tupac, so then our mafia clique moving up to another block or something like that. And it's always just like slightly too low for you to really catch what they're saying, and it's just like, what? Who is that? And then it's like, what was that Fly song? I think it's like all around the song, it was just like, here it is. You're just like, wait, who's that guy? What's that guy? And like, sometimes he gets a verse and sometimes he doesn't, because sometimes, depends on how racist your radio station is and whether or not they want to allow him to have a rap verse. So it's just, you'll just have this deja vu of being like, I can swear that guy had a verse. Or does he just talk? Or what is it?
They got to add the worldly flavor. I don't know if it's for credibility or what. Nowadays, you could just get Drake to do it. You don't even have to get an actual Jamaican person.
Oh, dial an accent. Oh, look at that.
We're just outsourcing. And by the way, before we get a bunch of comments, I do want to correct myself that Wyclef Jean was not Jamaican. He's in fact Haitian.
Yeah, Haitian. Get out of here. What are you doing?
And I didn't realize this until just now. I learned this. In August 2010, Jean filed for candidacy in the 2010 Haitian presidential election.
I don't know what that was about.
The Provincial Electoral Council ruled him ineligible to stand for office as he had not met the constitutional requirement to have been a resident in Haiti for 5 years prior to the election.
Yeah, isn't he from New Jersey? What's he doing?
He was born in Haiti.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's from Newark. Fucking Newark! Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, that's very funny to me.
We know them. Yeah, we know about them. Come on.
Yeah.
Wyclef Jean, Lauryn Hill, and Praz, they're all, New Jerseyans.
A lot has changed in the going off universe, the going off landscape since our last episode. If you notice on Spotify, the art for the show has changed, and I want to give a big shout out to my partner Neb for providing us new updated artwork. And look how happy we look. I think if nothing else, I think that should let people know the trajectory of the show, our projection as content creators.
Oh, are we doing positivity now? Is that our push?
We're not mean mugging anymore. We're no longer the bad boys of podcasting.
Oh, not confrontational. Yeah.
No. Now we might actually get guests again. We're not going to scare everybody away. Everybody's talking about us in the underground RC. I've read the forums. I've read the message boards.
Had to clean up their image. We got to get a PR agent and let them know that it's all love. It was never meant to be disrespect. We didn't mean to disrespect the internet clicks.
Yeah, no.
That were...
This is the reconstruction of our image. This is our redemption arc before your very eyes. But also, we cut out a big chunk. Well, it wasn't even a chunk. It was before the show officially started last time, where we talked about TikTok and we talked about YouTube and everything. I put that as an exclusive on Spotify for subscribers. It doesn't help that I really didn't have a chance to tell anybody about it because I didn't know what it looked like last time, but now I do.
Yeah, part of doing internet stuff is like doing a thing and then remembering to like tell people about it.
If you go on Spotify, it's $1.99 a month. When you go on Spotify, there should be an episode, and it has like a lock under it, and hopefully we'll have more over time. So it's not just that one clip. Obviously, we're going to try to post something regularly. I should also shout out our Ko-fi if you want to request an album for us to review in an upcoming episode of the show. It is ko-fi.com/going off GOINOFF. And we've got...
Was there something you wanted to say?
No. Of course not. We've got 3 requests this week. Stacked show.
You guys set them up, we knock them down.
That's how it goes. Stack them and fuck them. That's what I always say.
Whoa. Let's start with the stories we tell ourselves by nothing more. Melchior, thank you so much for your request. Yeah. I did not phrase that. That was like a wave of a sentence, and I just like, Melchior. Thank you for much.
I've got no remarks. I think that was great. No notes. But this time, we've got nothing more, all caps. No disrespect. With the story we tell ourselves. Yes. RC, what did you think of Nothing More?
Nothing more. This was a solid, good fucking time. I had a rockin' good time with, I'm pretty sure, like, pretty much all of this album, and now that I'm looking at it, like, the most I could say is that the skits were kind of like, all right, sometimes they were good, sometimes they were a little,
Yeah, they got a theme of the interludes on this album where it's like 2 words with the slash between them.
Yeah. And the first one is just the rising music. I'm pretty sure the edit of this, the audio file of this looks like that new Skrillex album, like that cheap shot, very topical there.
Hey, I listened to that album.
How was it?
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah, honestly. Right. They have Missy Elliott on a track.
Oh, wow.
And she has a really small verse on it, but they also like sample her throughout it. It's fine. It's not as dubstep-y. It's kind of like kind of realizing that the dubstep trend.
Skrillex has gone soft on you.
Yeah, you could make an argument for that. I know they have a collaboration with 100 Gex on there. Which, I mean, if you are Skrillex and you're in 2023, that is the smart move, is to just collab with a whole bunch of new acts and Missy Elliott. I guess you got to make an exception for the legends. It's fine. But honestly, that's kind of how I feel about this album, too, is that it's just kind of okay.
Weren't feeling it as much, eh?
Not really. It's like, musically, I think it's fine. I'll just admittedly say it's not exactly my cup of tea. It might make sense to some people when I say this, but it's WWE pay-per-view theme song music.
But I love it so much.
See, I understand.
I love it though.
And I knew it. That's why I threw it to you first, because I knew you were going to end up enjoying this more than I did. Lyrically, I just kind of thought the album was kind of mid. Vocals, interesting. I'll say that.
They're so intense.
To me, he sounded like a cross between Patrick Stump of Fall Out Boy and Ronnie Radke of Falling in Reverse. Results may vary depending on who's listening. I think it was okay. I was just kind of underwhelmed. It was way more overwhelming musically, I thought, and there are definitely some bangers on here for sure. If I had to shout out the songs I liked the most, those would end up being the songs Funny Little Creatures.
Yes, that was a banger.
And Fade In, Fade Out. Those two got the highest ratings for me.
That was the
That's the
final
last
one,
cut,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, Fade In, Fade Out. I thought this one was definitely a solid one. What have I noted? This might Be the most beautiful song.
Holy shit! Wow.
High praise for that track for sure. Oh yeah, because that was the one. Yeah, because that was the one that reminded me of the Black Parade sort of feel, where it's just I looked at my father and he told me, it's like, I'm going to fade out as your next kid fades in or something to that effect. It's like, it's just like, oh my God, yeah, it's like, son, I have watched you fade in. You will watch me fade out. Like, go and find your way, leave me in your wake. Always push through the pain and don't run from the change. It's just like, holy shit. Yeah. Like throughout this album, I think there's lots of really strong lyrics on this album. I don't know.
You thought so?
Yeah, especially Do You Really Want It? I thought that was an intense opening track. It's like, everybody wants to change the world, but one thing's clear, no one ever wants to change themselves. That's the way things are, all because we ain't the buzzkill. Jaded when we need the feel, but we can change it if you really want it. Like, I like that really, like, fucking James Bond into the world. It's like, there's only one way things can change, which is if we realize the change is inside us all along. You thought it was the enemy, but it was actually yourself. It's like, it's like the clipping on of all the TVs is like, realize now, reach out to your fellow man, not in hate, but I like the epicness of the messaging, you know what I mean?
I was kind of confused as to what the American devil or American demon was supposed to be. They kept saying that throughout the song.
I didn't catch that. Wait,
I didn't know what they were talking about.
I don't remember that.
Hold on.
I just mostly, for me, it was just like, whenever something was really epic, I'd be like, okay, I can't deny that. That's a pretty dope line right there.
I saw one song, I think it was on this album, that had a community note trying to explain what the song was about, and it had 16 downvotes. Like, it got obliterated. I don't know. Someone tried to make fucking heads or tails of it, and people just fucking knocked him into the goddamn ground. We say, give me a high. Oh, God, give me a feeling. We say, give me a push through this. We say, give me a sign that proves what I believe in, so I can shake these American demons. I was like, wait, what? And then, it goes straight from that. Everyone wants to change the world, but one thing's clear. And I was like, huh? And then they say it again in verse 2.
Yeah, throw the word American. It makes it sound more epic,
American demons.
Peace fuzz on the cheese of America. Now it's political. It's worthy of Bob Dylan.
Do you really want it? Do you? Do you really want it? Do you? So I can shake these American demons. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's a social commentary. It was 2017 when this came out, right? So everyone's thinking, shit, what's going on with America?
This was the note. I forgot. Yeah, this is the one with 16 downvotes. The song is the start of the album that, parentheses, I feel, can be applied to relationships. If you look at it through the song names and you listen to the music, it'll strike you like a stone. And everyone just went, boo! Shut the fuck up!
Specifically American relationships, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Belgian relationships are fine right now. They're doing okay, but America, we gotta get it together.
I just read that sentence out loud and it made absolutely no sense to me. I can understand why it got so many downvotes. It just sounds, that's fucking word salad.
Now, I will say this, I guess as someone who doesn't listen to, like, as much as what's going on with rock in the now, it did kind of like, shake me, I guess, out of the, the most recent thing I'd heard, was the Ozzy Osbourne, the Black Sabbath, that's what kind of rock, the established old school sound sounds like. And then kind of going like, ooh, this is modern, because there are parts where it's like, I was thinking it was just going to be all organic instruments. And then there's little parts where like, you'll hear like a clipping in a way that feels a little bit more modern in the way it'll like cut off and then come back in with what sound like mechanical drums in a way that's like, okay, that's kind of interesting. You know what I mean?
I liked there's some songs on here that have like record scratching.
Yeah, little parts. There's one song. What was it? The Ripping Me Apart. There's a part where like oh God, you're ripping me apart. And then like when it happens, you hear like a little whining sort of scritch that kind of sounds like the pulling twine. I thought that was really cool, That was
the one I was thinking about. It reminded me a lot of Hybrid Theory, that first Linkin Park album, actually.
That's what it feels like. It really does feel like an evolution of like playing with these sound effects to really, play up the heightening of the emotion of what the song is about and the aesthetic. That, I guess, I think that's what summed up how I felt. Like it felt like a really cool, like I and they just feel like he kind of flirts with kind of rapping a little bit, but never really goes into it, which is like, that's fine.
He probably knows his limitations. That's probably for the best.
I didn't have his betting.
Oh, yeah, the
field.
Mike Shinoda. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's looking over there at Chester Bennington and realizing exactly how far they can push it. But there's two songs sandwiching Rip Me Apart that he does really annoying vocal things, in my opinion.
Yes, I get what you're saying in terms of him. Oh man, I can especially understand you having the misfortune that you have and how up on the mic he sounds a lot of times.
Well, specifically, it honestly, this album didn't fuck with me as bad as some do. I will say that, but in these, it's more just kind of sonically, aesthetically. It was just kind of, I can't stand when people do that.
It felt like the sort of, the 2000s when they would have music videos and then like someone comes at you and it's like a hardcore video and then, and it would be like, you'd see like the sort of, what is that metal, that sheet metal that has the little raised things on it, but you see it like in black and white, like blasted on the screen. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You see that blasted on the screen where someone's making like a plick, plunk, and you see that shit. You know what I mean?
The spitting the words out, I'm not a fan of, but specifically on Let Him Burn, he sounds like he's burping his way through, just going like, everybody, yeah, everybody, yeah. I was like, please stop that. And on Don't Stop, he's doing like this screeching kind of vocals at the beginning of it, and it was so off-putting.
I think at the end, it felt like a little bit like, where are you going with this? Where it's like, I got the fire, I got the control.
But I did have to quote, because I would have just really obliterated Don't Stop because of the vocals, but then he saves it with this, again, like you mentioned, almost a rap verse. I give the side eye to the sound bites, pumping stock lies, saying shit don't stink, touch a hot nerve when I prefer to think, and turn down Jonestown drinks. It was like, okay, like he turned up the intensity there and switched it up. I just didn't like the rest of the stuff around it, unfortunately.
And then there are the skits with Alan Watts, a.k.a. the Lo-Fi Professor. I've heard his stuff like a lot of times. If you're like listening to Lo-Fi, and if there's someone who sounds like, I'm British and saying something that seems really profound, it's usually him.
Didn't he do something similar on that Our Lady Peace album we listened to?
I think so.
Where they kept cutting back to like either like a professor or like movie sound bites.
I've heard some people say he's like good, like gateway philosophy, and not necessarily like the deepest you could get to. But what's interesting is that because it's like there's one of the skits on here where he'll just like, that was nothing, and that didn't mean anything. And then there's another one on here where it's just like, that was actually really interesting. Like the one about fear and how it's like, there's nothing to fear, you just had to face it. I was like, that's actually really like a good sort of like, oh yeah, I could see, that being a good motivator to get through something. And then there was another one, I can't even remember where to go to find the quote, because it was just such a nothing quote that was just like, what the hell is that? I can't apply that to anything.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, if you're going for something aesthetically, mixing it up, I think that's cool. I think that's fine. I just didn't really know what it had to do with the album.
But going to Funny Little Creatures, that was I think that was one of the better, definitely one of the best well-written ones. Like really, personifying the different characters of emotion. Like blame is a coward but self-righteous, a funny little creature hiding out in me. Hate is power with a price tag. A funny little creature screaming out at me. Like it's just so like I think I get what you're saying right there. Like,
It jumped out at me for being one of the catchier cuts too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And the fear is a liar, but he's been right before. It's like, ooh, that's a knife turner right there, yeah. Oh, man. And then, what was that one lyric? It's like, it's funny how the stories that I tell myself leave so many things out. Do I believe myself or someone else? It's funny how I know what's wrong about everything and everyone else when I don't know myself. It's like, ooh. Oh, we're through the looking glass, people. This is getting too real.
The Great Divorce, I thought, was really good musically also.
Yeah.
Honestly, from here on out, my opinions are just kind of like, yeah, that sounds fine.
You weren't feeling the Valentine's Day vibes with, I'm still in love with you!
No.
You have no heart.
I wasn't a big fan of Still in Love. I did like the acoustic, Just Say When, though. I thought that was an alright cut.
That one. This is the one where I wrote down, those Life is Strange video game vibes. I fucking love this one, yes. I did like how Alone / Together, again, you're like not sure which ones are the tracks and which ones aren't the tracks, but I
liked that one too.
But I did like how it builded to Go to War. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, let's go to war. Let's go to war. Like, when the song really makes you like feel what is going on in the themes, I really enjoy it.
I ended up liking the Alone Together interlude more than Go to War itself.
Really?
I was really feeling the hype, and then it just kind of plateaued.
It doesn't necessarily drop as hard as I feel like I wish I would have wanted it to, but I did like I felt like the lyrics made up for it. Like I felt like it did a better job of doing the is this about war, is this about personal relationship than I feel like the first track did, with the screaming at the ones we love like we forgot who we can trust, screaming at the top of our lungs on the grounds where we feel safe. Do we feel safe? You know, like I like that, like, a civil war, brother against brother, that sort of thing, you know. Oh yeah, and who we are. That one lyric in particular, whenever it gets me the action adventure striking line, that if I'm wrong, then why am I still feeling who we are? Keeps me believing. I don't know, man. I was feeling it. I was feeling the 14-year-old me. Yeah, Rage Against the Machine, man. I don't know what it is, but I'm angry too. You know?
Yeah, I don't think it clicked with me nearly as hard.
I am fragrantly of the teen spirit variety at this moment, apparently, and I am feeling like lashing out at anybody, an albino, and a Milano, or mosquito, or my libido. I don't give a fuck. You can catch a piece of this heat. Me and my friends have always been and always will until the end. I'm fucking rocking out.
Glad you enjoyed yourself. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think I just had a good time, because when I get to the end of the thing, I was just like, yeah, I gotta give this a 5 out of 5. Like, I enjoyed the shit out of this. Like, the only thing I felt like really kept it down was maybe 1 or 2 songs not being as hype as the rest, and like the skits kind of being like, I could have left half of these, but like, yeah, otherwise I had a solid good time. I think Tunnels was the main one that I was kind of like, I didn't really know this was okay.
Yeah, Tunnels was okay.
Yeah.
I ended up giving it a 3 myself.
Wow.
Yeah. You know,
no love.
It is what it is. But now we've got 2 rap albums. So where do we go?
Yeah,
we've got an oldie and then one from 27. Okay.
I think we do the new one last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remembered something.
A bit of dialogue we can get into.
I remembered that one that one straw that broke the camel's back. I'm just like, oh yeah. Prodigy has to go last. So here we've got Crucial Conflict with the Final Tic.
Thank you so much to Raya Eve for your request.
Okay, RC, have you ever heard of Crucial Conflict?
No.
Okay, good. I don't feel so bad then. Because I was sitting here looking at it and I'm like, 1996? What the fuck? And I'm listening to it and I'm just like, this isn't, like, what the fuck is this? Why have I never heard of this before? Why is no one talking about Crucial Conflict?
It feels like an alternate universe thing where, like, yeah, someone in the 90s was doing the what was the name of that group that did the Cotton Eye Joe song?
Oh, the Rednecks.
Yeah, they're doing like the Wild West version of it. They heard that the Wild Wild West movie was coming out in a year or so, and they're like, I got it, guys. Let's jump on this beforehand. Let's put on our leather overalls, and I don't understand where this came from.
This album's weird as hell.
Yeah, and like it feels like they had a concept, but they like were only halfway committed to it. Like, yeah, like, oh, I know, we're gonna stand out. We're gonna be like country guys, and it's like, but we're not from the South. We're clearly from Chicago, and I guess there are barns out there somewhere in the rural parts, but like that's not really what we're known for. Like.
You know what's funny? It only just hit me now that was kind of a thing. Because I was listening to the songs, and sound-wise, there's only a couple songs that really do kind of have that like westerny flair to me. Otherwise, they're just like, this sounds dope.
It has
But
a really
just as you-
twangy little, like, it sounds like something's buzzy and, like, either something's wrong and it's kind of, like, a little outdated or they're going for that on purpose, you know? Like, yeah.
It's just that when you were talking about it, it made everything click because you got Showdown. It has, like, a Western vibe. It's got, like, the whip crack sound effect in the background.
Yeah, they keep doing that, yeah.
Desperado. Then you got Ride the Rodeo, Hey, spelled Hay.
Yeah.
That completely went over my head while I was listening to the album, that there was like a motif. I wasn't even paying attention to that, I guess. Because they were repping Chicago pretty fucking hard. They spell it out in like the first track.
Yeah, and also it's all this stuff about an explosion's gonna happen and it's the final tick. And I don't think that was as, like, spelled out as I think they were trying to do. Yeah.
No. I don't know if that's just my own thing, but I didn't pick up on that. I was sitting here wondering what the fuck that meant.
Yeah. Oh my God. It literally, the studio that they recorded this in was called The Barn. So they were going for a thing.
Oh my God. Jesus. Context clues. How did you evade me so?
I mean, you know, people would do like random themes in rap songs in the 90s. That was like a thing, you know. Missy Elliott did the, you know, Mega Man video. Music videos were looking cool. Busta Rhymes did the country thing in that Fire video one time, remember? Sock it to me, that's what it's called. Sock it to me like you wanted to do. Don't say there's something jumping like a disco. And all you gotta say is, Missy go. I'm looking at this music video for Hey, like...
Oh, there's a video for Hey?
Yeah, and it's like barely going for... It's exactly the amount of dedication to the theme that is on the album. It's just like, there's kind of like stuff in the background that kind of looks like a barn, I guess. You know, like... There's like some sticks and stuff, and they have hay, of course. There's not like bales of it, but it's just kind of like, oh, you see it fall, and it's in the background, you know. There's like a chicken feed thing in the video, and they wear overalls, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's not like they're like, there's no like barn animals or anything. There's like a dog at one point.
That's close enough.
Yeah, but it's really like it is about as dedicated. There's like one cowboy looking guy. He goes like, "Oh, look at me, about to shoot at you." If you can find the video, go to a minute and 9 seconds in for Crucial Conflicts Hey, and you will find the cowboy man.
Okay, hold on.
Doing his fun little dick nicka-doo, making them take this video and this group real seriously.
Oh, dude's got the fucking pigtails. Oh, there he is. Holy shit. Oh, he's about to, he dropped his gun. Oh, okay, that's fun. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's dancing. This
guy appears at no other point in the rest of the video, as far as I can see. It's just that 1 second.
But they are hanging out in the fucking barn. That is something. Huh. That's a very weird choice. A lot of this album has weird choices.
It feels to me like the Scarecrow guy from Insane Clown Posse, who's like...
Oh, Boondocks.
Yeah, like, I got it. We're gonna do like a rural thing. We're about the country. All right, did you have any ideas? Looks like a scarecrow and it's hay and shit.
We're gonna have a guy in a Lone Ranger mask fumble with his gun, and he's got the spurs. And
then we're just going on the going off pick.
Then we're and then we're gonna have a woman just doing splits and bouncing her ass, and then we're gonna randomly have this weird orange effect where everything is like the outlined stencil of our faces. Yeah, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain, but everything kind of gets like. Like oversaturated. Yeah, they did not have money for effects. They filmed in a fucking barn, and they just threw this really weird effect on it, like every so minute, where it almost looks like everything is gonna like catch fire, and then it goes out immediately.
Yeah, the Busta Rhymes video looked more like a countrified video than this.
My favorite cut on the album, again, 2 albums in a row, is the last one. Fucking Get Up.
I thought you were about to say the Hey remix.
It had been so long since I heard Hey that I listened to the Hey remix and I couldn't tell what was different about it.
Yeah, dude, I totally got that. I had to listen back. There is a difference. The hooks, the beat kind of sounds like that sort of like, where the drum is more in steady time, so it kind of feels like there might be a drop that's about to happen. Like, that's basically the difference, and the bass is playing a little bit more and it's a bit more pronounced, but it's almost essentially the same beat. It's just like here's a slightly alternate version that we had. Like, it wasn't like a complete remix. We were just confused. We were conflicted. I heard you was conflicted about which exact beat work that you wanted to use between the beat, the bass going forward being played forward, or the bass being played backwards. And this is the one with the bass being played backwards. I hope you guys can hear the difference.
It's like the album was already 50-something minutes. You didn't need a remix to pan it out.
Did you also get the feel with every one of these songs? Because everyone gets a verse every time, and there's 4 of them, so there's 4 verses every single time. And even though these songs aren't even that long, I almost unanimously every time felt like I was after the second verse going oh, is this still going?
Oh, no, honestly, I think I was, it held my attention enough that I was like, okay, and I was interested to see where it was going to go next. I don't really remember the individual people having standout personalities that really set them apart, so it all just kind of ran together.
They said them a couple of times, but it wasn't important. They don't it's not like, this guy's so much different from this. It's not really, what was up with that intro where they're just yammering on don't let the money change you, buddy, and all this bunch of nonsense. We just turned on this is the very first thing we recorded. My uncle came by and decided to give us some random life advice, I guess, or something.
I'm glad they put it at the beginning of the album though, so you could just skip it right away. There's no reason to listen to that.
Yeah, and then the Final Tic with the weirdly, they're just slightly too turned up vocals and the Texas whipping sounds and the sound of some Mortal Kombat dude talking in between the hooks. It sounds like someone going fatality. And it's that would work if they were actually spitting some fucking bars, but they're not really. Yeah. With
this album, it was again a lot of similarities to the Nothing More album, actually, where the intensity of the music kind of overshadowed the lyrical content.
Yeah,
and on this album, them being so fucking hype distracted me from what they were talking about. It was just
definitely get that.
They were bringing the fucking energy, so that alone could fool me.
They had the Goody Mob energy where it's oh shit, it's just so hype where their flow is moving, and you're what the fuck? Yeah.
Do you remember that song? I don't know what nationality the person was, but he wrote a song that sounded like an American pop rock song.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it was absolute gibberish, and it became a big hit because people in that country just well, they're not going to understand English anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it. Is I don't know what's going on. It doesn't matter to me what's being said. You sound cool. The energy's there. You could be saying whatever, and it doesn't matter.
It literally just sounds hey, we fused Busta Rhymes and Mystical, and here's what we got.
Yeah.
We made 4 clones of them, and this is the Tasmanian Devil's Cousins special. And they're gonna look at them go. And the thing is, it would be fine if they rhymed half the time. I swear to God, I wrote down one of the lines that was nigga, this is the Final Tic. Punk bitches done made me mad. Bust a cap and jump back in the song, and I'm gone. Ain't got a damn thing to say. And I was wait, there was maybe on and gone rhymed, but that was 4 lines, and nothing just rhymed there. And there's so many times when that happens where you're just you guys know you're supposed to be rhyming words, right?
Every album I gotta give a shout out. The bongos on Showdown.
Showdown, okay.
I'll
give you that.
God.
And the Pusher Man sample was pretty cool, and more of the whipping noises. And
yeah, I love the whip crack. Adds a lot. The bongos add a lot. They have sleigh bells on Trigger Happy too. Do you remember that?
I can't remember.
Why? But it sounded so dope that it was just like, I don't know whose idea this was. I don't know why they thought, hey, you know what this song needs? This song about just like shooting people? It needs sleigh bells. That's what's going to put it over the edge.
Yeah,
and you know 90s, what? It does.
In the 90s, sleigh bells on rap songs was just like a thing. I don't know why.
Was it? Oh,
there's not a lot of Eazy-E songs and Outkast songs. It's weird. And Desperado, I wrote down this is the best sounding track so far, but their
definitely was a dope cut, yeah.
But their Tasmanian devil rapping styles are just so hard to keep my attention for whatever they're saying. Like,
I agree.
It just sounds, and it sounds like the track has just like buzzing flies on it or something. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's just like fuzzy or intentional. It's like, it feels like I said, I feel like I'm watching that, Bugs in Tasmania or whatever the fuck that show is. And it actually
Tasmania, yeah.
Yeah, and it actually is the 90s, and like the fuzz that I thought was just part of like what was wrong with my TV is just how the show looks, you know? Like, that's what this track feels like to me. Life Ain't the Same happens, and again, I'm like having the exact same note of how, like, it was every time after the second verse, I'm just like, oh no, there's still a whole half of a track left.
I wasn't really feeling Life Ain't the Same. I thought it was okay, but Hey is definitely a standout.
Highlight. For sure. Like, it has it's the one where they lean in the most with it. They got that little boing, doing, doing, that little country noise, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the fucking, like, mouth harp, I guess.
Yeah. Smoking on, hey, in the middle of the bar. Like, that hook hits. Like, yeah.
It's very fun. She high like the sun, thick like cornbread, and I'm ready to party. The hay got me so goddamn horny, but I don't like that tramp. The only reason I'm popping that coochie cause the hoe had a book of food stamps.
I think this is the one where one of the verses like leads into another one. So it's not like a full like hook. And I think the verses are like, the hooks are like half timed. Like, usually be like 8 bars, and I think it's like about 4.
I remember they do that a lot.
Yeah. Where it's like, because someone says something about my hay, and then someone like picks it up, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're gonna have one verse for this one. All right, that's cool. Moving along a little, and then I gotta say, Trigger Happy. Look, this album was sounded like cartoonish and silly before. This beat just sounds so barely slapped together. Like, I can hear the masking tape on Trigger Happy. I can hear the masking tape on the edge of this beat. No, this was ridiculous.
I liked this one.
Now, I did like the female solo rapper. Like, I thought she had a good energy. Yeah, but I was like, where did she come from?
I didn't see them giving credit anywhere. I was like, who the fuck was that?
She doesn't get a name or anything. It's just like their cousin just visited for a quick second. Oh, they forgot to get her rap name. Oh no.
Oh damn.
Her mom had to pick her up, and they had to leave back to fucking had to leave back for New York. Ah shit. 1-900 Off Your Square, which is like a minimally funny track where it's just like, oh, if you a bitch ass nigga, call us and we'll beat you some more or something.
I was like, oh, okay.
In terms of Insane Clown Posse skits, it's like, mid-level, Little Advice. I like the nice little chinging beat kind of going on in the background of this one, but I
thought it was catchy, yeah.
Yeah, but the pimp talk was just so same old, like, it was just
awkward
nothing.
Flow on this one too.
Yeah, and it was like, a pimp is a pimp, and the Mac is a Mac, and the hoe is all right.
Yeah, they didn't need to repeat that as much as they did.
Right, like, yeah, we got it.
And they thought that was something.
Right.
How about the very NWA tell it to the judge?
They tried, right? They so tried to make them fuck the police. It was so half-assed, though. Like, here's my thing. You remember what's the name of that group with the RZA? Gravediggers. They made the Diary of a Madman, where it's like, oh, I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to make it so over the top and crazy. It's like, Judge, this is why you have to let me go, because I'm a madman. Look at how I'm playing it up. Like, they at least follow all the way through with this, you know, with the concept, right? That like, oh, plead by guilty of insanity. But with this, like, each verse kind of like doesn't really play it up that much. It's more just like, I'm just gangster, nigga, whatever, I don't give a shit. And then it's just like, well, yeah, of course, like, you're trying to do a fucking Officer Krupke joint, you know, where it's just like, oh, you know, society, you know, don't blame me, blame my upbringing. But, like, they don't even fully commit to it. So when the judge is just, like, laughing at them at the end, I'm just like, I don't know, they didn't really make a good case. So I was like...
I did have to
didn't really pull the sympathy, you know? Like,
no, there's absolutely no sympathy in, motherfucker, I'm a maniac. My case is in nowhere, because my lawyer's got a grudge. Fuck it, I'm guilty. Suck my dick, Judge.
oh, well, okay.
No. Suck my dick, Judge.
You just threw your hands up at the challenge.
Fuck it, I'm guilty.
Pulled up his paper and threw it to the side.
Now, that's funny, but what's also funny to me is something they didn't intend on, I don't think. The line, looking up out the window, ain't no window.
Looking out the window, ain't no window. I think that only works if it's like a line where you're just like, oh, could you at least look out the window? No, bitch, ain't no window. But when he says specifically, I'm looking out the window. No, there is no window. It's like, well, then don't say there's a window.
like he had to... like he had the realization, like he even did a double take. He looked out the window like, what?
Hey, that's a bitch. Wait a minute. We're supposed to actually be able to have like sunlight.
Window.
Hold on. This is a human rights violation.
Now, I did have to point it out, because you pointed out, yeah, the judge is just straight up laughing. He's just like, y'all are guilty on all counts.
Yeah, let me go to my golf appointment.
Why do they put so much echo on the judge?
I get it, guys.
Like, I was like, what? Why? Is the song supposed to be funny or not? I'm confused.
They didn't have any clever dialogue, so they just upped the echo to make him sound just so evil.
Oh, he's so menacing. Oh, we should have lowered his voice. Oh, we did the wrong effect. How did you feel about Ride the Rodeo?
I think this one was one of the more fun ones to listen to. I actually enjoyed that there were only like 2 mini verses. Like, I didn't care. It was like a fun 90s party song. I like the little giddy up now with the chick at the end. I was just like, okay, now we're having a good time. You know, skip all the lyric writing, just write hooks. Like, guys, you know.
This actually got the lowest rating for me.
Are you serious? Like, yeah, I liked it when they just shut up and just let the party happen.
I guess I like when they're hyped. This one, like, the whoever they had, the guest female vocalist, who I don't know who it is, I thought she really heard it, because her like bridges that she had were so awkward. Like the flow is just weird and off.
Is there like a thing, and I feel like, was it with this album and the other album, where there's like a female voice comes in, and she sounds very well produced, but she doesn't sound like she's supposed to be on this. Like, something just doesn't feel right. Like,
you just had this sitting around on the fucking computer. It's like, oh, throw that in there. I don't know.
Yeah, this sounds good, so let's throw it on this track. It's like, yeah, but does it sound good with this? Like, yeah.
I did like To the Left, though.
I get like, it has a fun vibe to it, but it's just more random gangsta cowboy raps within there that are just uninteresting and generic. Like,
they just knew what their strong suit was, in my opinion. And if cowboy gangster rap is what they're good at, it's like, just keep doing that. I thought anyway.
I'd rather hear Bone Thugs and Harmony doing it personally. Okay. I like the giddy up to you better count your money. But yeah, just getting my money. This one had better, slicker beat work, and it's like I can enjoy the beat work of this one more. But I did kind of feel like, well, now you're kind of betraying the theme in order to actually have interesting an interesting soundscape. So it was like a weird thing where it's just like, well, this sounds better, and I'd rather listen to it, but I kind of feel like you're betraying your sound now. It's like, no, don't change course now. Like
this one was interesting because it was like, this is the radio hit.
Oh, for sure, yeah. This is the one they play on. All That when they get their guest spot.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if they just have the whole stage set up?
All the kids are wearing leather overalls, because they thought it was gonna be the next thing.
You have Baggin' Saggin' Barry with huge baggy saggy overalls. That's the way to go. He pulls a giant banjo, a fucking stand-up bass out of his pants.
Oh, and Repairman, man, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's got to fix their awkward flow. What did you end up walking away with?
Let me see. I got a 1 out of 5 out of this bitch.
Wow! Holy shit!
I did not have a great time.
Wow, I had a 3.5.
Oh, man.
Yikes.
Just going to it really quick. Get Up was okay. I liked that the whip crack came back. And I also liked the little zip running noise that was kind of happening. So it kind of sounded like the person was getting whipped and then they were like, whoa, and like running. So I like that. Like, I wish they would have leaned more into the fooshnickens of the Wild Wild West of it all,
yes.
But yeah, I think that was it. It just didn't feel like they leaned into it enough into the actual lyrics, other than just like general signifiers. Like this feels like honestly, if I were a country music artist, I'd be minorly offended. It's like, oh, is that what you just think as country songs do? You just throw it. I mean, you're right for the most part, but still.
You're not supposed to say it.
Yeah, exactly. Puts effort into it. Honestly, if we're going to be talking about the country rap crossover, which seems to be, really enjoying that second life in this new millennium, I would say you don't necessarily need to go back to this one. Definitely hit up that Bone Thugs and Harmony country rap one, because that one's legit. But this one, just didn't hit me in the right way,
It's funny that you mentioned that, because when Lil Nas X had Old Town Road and had the biggest, the number one country song in the country, and people were debating whether or not it was country and if it should be on the list or not. And for a minute there, we really thought this was going to be like the next big thing.
Oh, the resurgence. Yeah, sure.
And there was one dude, and I can't remember his name. We talked about him on the podcast years ago. He had a song called My Truck.
Yeah, sure.
And
he hitched his wagon to that star.
He got sponsored by either Chevy or Ford, I forget who, but they wanted to do a partnership with him. He was like, hey, look, he's rapping, but it's also country, and he's talking about a truck. This is perfect. And it just did absolutely nothing. And then Lil Nas X went on to just do different, cooler shit. And everyone's like, oh, he's not just gonna do country forever? Neither was I. Throws away all his bedazzled country western shirts, sets everything on fire. No, I knew it was a one-hit thing. Sure, yeah. Throws away all his fucking $1,000 cowboy boots.
It's like, wow, y'all really got caught. Y'all really got caught out here.
I'm in way over my head, guys. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. You know what? We've been off base, RC. We've been swinging and a missing. Every song I think I enjoy, you're not enjoying. Songs that you enjoy aren't hitting me as much. I just don't think we're on the same wavelength. If only there was an artist who could possibly bring us on the same page, that we could maybe agree on something here.
If only.
Respect to Prodigy, okay?
Oh, rest in peace for sure.
It's not very often that we get requests for artists who have died before we review the album, and Prodigy just happens to be one of those cases. But with that said, oh boy,
an artist, any 90s rapper their eighth album 2 decades later, after they don't have that same fire in their belly. They don't have to prove anything anymore. They're just used to doing their grimy New York sound. And it's just...
Yikes.
Shout out to Dr. Goatman for your request.
Dr. Goatman. Yeah. A fucking rare L from Dr. Goatman, I gotta say. Unless you knew. Unless this is a joke.
They
gotta know. No way could you have spent all this time requesting Lady Gaga, Bjork, David Bowie, all of this dope shit. And then this.
You know what's in competition with all of that? Prodigy's final album, Hegelian Dialectical, the Book of Revelation. Talk about set up for a fucking letdown. Like, what in the high science-minded raps? What in the fucking Killer Priest? Let's talk about some high, seventh dimension wizards coming down from the... Oh, whoops, no, wrong album title. Oh, we futzed it up with another one called Head Nigga in Charge Part 3, I guess. Like, because what is happening? Like, nothing on this album was like that at all.
Think more J Electronica.
Yeah, oh God. Oh, what do you mean? Don't you mean J Electronica? J Elect Yamaka.
So Mystic starts, right? The first track. My very first note.
Wait, Mystic?
Mystic?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it has an intro, but then there's Mystic, right?
Oh. You did it, didn't you, Mues? You looked at the wrong album.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What happened?
There's two. There's
Wait a minute.
There's one that was before his death, and there's one that was the posthumous one. And
wait a second. What?
Yeah. They both look very similar.
Wait, no, hold on. I need to check this out now. What the hell's going on here?
One is called Hegelian Dialectical, the Book of Revelation, with the intro that's 2017. And one, which is the one they requested, which is posthumous, called the Hegelian Dialectical 2, the Book of Heroin. That
I do not have 2 written down. I just have the first one.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on.
Fuck, does that mean I looked at the wrong one?
Okay, let me double check here.
Son of bitch. Well, you know what? You got 2 for the price of 1, Dr. Goatman.
Yeah! I was so worried there. Thank God it was you that fucked
exactly
up.
the fucking same.
Oh, goody. Okay, so
look
great.
At me trying to twist it back on you. Like, look, that's what the one thing we need to learn, folks, that we need to learn today about the internet is that it's all about perspective.
Oh, this is a delight. Then great. You get to tell me about the 2022 one. Oh man.
Yeah,
wow,
the one with the skin off as opposed to the one with the skin on. They really didn't do a good job to help
No, absolutely not. But I'm looking through here.
Even though we listened to 2 different albums, we still both are like
That's what I thought. So I'm looking at your fucking features there. You got DJ Premier. I see Remy Ma. There's some names on here. I don't have anything on mine.
Yeah, the features were the only good thing about this fucking album.
I have a feature from Cash Bills.
What, money just featured on it?
It's spelled $CA$H capitalized BILZ. Cash Bills. I don't know who that is. He's the only feature on the album. When I click on his name on Spotify, his only appearance, or the only thing on his Spotify is his appearance on this song and nothing else.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, absolutely nothing. Well, now how do we do this? Who starts? How do we tackle these?
I honestly want to hear how bad your experience was. Please let me know.
Well, we'll go in chronological order. Good, because mine was 2017. It was his last album. Yours is the posthumous release. Cool. Okay. So the first track, Mystic. the very first note I have is, wow, this blows.
Wow, this blows.
Shit. I'm so glad I get to present these lyrics to you. Okay. I came from beyond any place you could imagine in your imagination. Wait.
Imagination land can't contain it.
Wait.
His imagination.
Mommy was my spaceship. It took her 9 months to get me here. I finally made it.
Some great Killer Priest raps there.
And over, mind you, a medieval Elizabethan beat.
Oh no, he's going for the fucking King Ransom vibes.
It's like lute music. Oh my god, dude. The flow is super choppy. He doesn't rhyme ever.
I'm sorry, why would you name both albums the exact same thing? What the hell is wrong with people?
Well, one's 1 and one's 2. I get it.
With the exact
It's like
same
the Carter.
God
So
damn it.
then on the second track, I'll blow through these relatively quickly since we have to do both. But we got a song called Broken Rappers, which is seriously a song about a 14-year-old elitist old head rap fan. Hey, the kid's only 14, but he knows what's up. He doesn't fuck with today's rap music. It's like,
get out of here. Oh, he's the wrong generation.
See, when I was listening to the first track, something in my head said, I have a feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion that I knew what this album was going to be. And then we get to track number 3 called Tyranny. And it is a 9/11 truther song.
That will be so much funnier when we get to what I have to say.
Oh, good. So...
oh, yeah, the Going Out podcast. You're getting 4 albums this week. That's right, folks. We're blowing it all up.
This is unprecedented.
This is Ultra Mega Podcast Smasher.
Beat Smasher. No one out here doing it like us. No one. Okay, so, in addition to rapping about,
oh Lord,
the governments behind all that shit in 2017, when we were talking about LP talking about 9/11 truth or shit in 2007, that was pushing it, but I was willing to overlook it because it was only 6 years after
he was making the album in that time.
No fucking way am I going to excuse it in 2017, though. And in addition to that, there's just so much dick sucking in this song about how fucking great I am. Oh my god, fucking terrible. But then we move on to motherfucking USA.
What?
And I'm gonna quote a term for this album, okay? Dude was out here spitting info bars.
Oh no.
I don't even have specific notes for that one. It was just dude's just in his fucking conspiracy theory bag.
Shit that would have sounded real clever on a fucking Immortal Technique song 2 decades ago. But now it's just this just sounds we already saw the Loose Change documentary and that guy was kind of a nut job, so.
Yeah, we all know better now.
Yeah.
Then we get a song called Mike Rokasum. I'm not sure. Because again,
it's
oh my god, are you serious? Son of a bitch. Oh, I hate it. Oh my god. I'm so glad I didn't know that. Okay. We like blood cells moving through the veins of a heart. Inside Mother Earth body. And damn, she thick. You ever think about that on weed? It's a trip.
What the fuck? I thought you were just saying that line. Yo, have you ever thought about that on Wii?
No. I have no frame of reference personally. But though, after that, the song's called As If and Snakes, that, again, also just have like 2.5 ratings. But then, out of fucking nowhere, The Good Fight, Spiritual War, No Religion, and The Last Cut, all 3s, 4s, and 3.5s. Like, I don't know why, but he was saving the decent to good shit for the very end. And although he does kind of end on a falter kind of misstep, the last song is called Hunger Pangs. My stomach touching my spine. My belly aches. My head aches. Make me start showing my fangs. Hunger pangs. Hunger pangs. I gave this a 2.5. Which honestly was being very, very gracious.
The album overall?
Yeah. It does not deserve a 2.5. It's really closer to like a 1 to a 2.
So
embarrassingly bad.
Yeah. So but
the second one though,
to get to
that's gotta be
oh man.
I can't wait to hear about it. I'm so excited.
So first track actually has a nice beat, but the lyrics are just so meandering, and then just the fact that he starts with he starts specifically, now I understand, you say things a certain type of way when you're like in New York or whatever the heck you say that, that's just like the affectation of what he say, but just the fact that he just starts with, I'm vicious than a pack of wolves.
Ooh.
That's how he phrases it, I'm vicious than a pack of wolves. It's like, could you at least say I'm vicious or something like that? Just conjugate
I'm vicious than a...
just conjugate it in some way.
That's all I'm asking.
Because it's the very first lyric, so it just hits you with huh? But then, you not a lion, you just lying. I laugh right in front of you. Oh, you like how he rhymed lion with lion. And then,
fuck.
And then these lines that don't even rhyme. Baby, I done told you, now you see for yourself. They not really monsters, they Scooby-Doo villains.
Ooh.
It's just, it's Capadonna levels of just kind of talking in a way that feels like it's rhythmic, but it's not matching anything, and there's no rhyme, so there's no anchor to where the beat is, and you're just like, what is happening right now? Isn't this guy supposed to be like a rap legend? What is happening?
Oh my god.
Oh man. And then Walk Out, which is a track that's just about him not getting out as much and being like, hey, I need to get out more. But no, I like staying mysterious and stuff. But, I do want to, I met RZA and that was pretty nice. So, maybe I should get out more. But I don't want to. That's literally what it was. It was just I saw RZA at the club and we did the knowledge and it was oh, cool. And all right.
With your fucking Prison Planet shit I heard on this first one, yeah, dude, you should get out more. Fuck, man.
And then there's Opium Poppy, which is the Your Love Is My Drug song, but it's not too bad. I mean, there's literally a point where you hear the super angelic female singer just saying, like a drug, you're my drug, like a drug. It's yes, we get it.
Damn it.
He has that same issue that Raekwon the chef has of being I'm a serious gangster, so that's respectable enough to not have to put any extra oomph or energy into what I'm saying. Where it's just I'm just kind of laying it out. Nope, don't need to in any way add any speed or pep to my stuff. So it's just even the things that he's saying in his lyrics are actually kind of interesting, but it's just but I'm move along. Come on. And you can't say age is an excuse because Big Daddy Kane is on this album later on, and Big Daddy Kane is from before this dude's era, and he's fucking snapping with his verse. So there's no goddamn excuse.
Showing up.
I was so pissed off when he came on because it just made me look back at Prodigy even more and be what? Gesturing at him but he.
but he and you were but he
Oh my goodness. But yeah, and so it's like some of the lyrics were in here were kind of good, but it was just like it's just not like you can just listen to the Jay-Z, and I know what you like, like you've already got your rapper talking about drugs, but it's also about love, like, you already got to get it, you know what I mean? And then Angel with Mary J. Blige on it was just such a waste. It just sounded so drab. And then just the way he says things, like it just so sounds like he is in no way, like I'm not saying you got to do the theatrics, but like if you're gonna make a song that's supposed to be ostensibly a love song, sound dedicated, like, and just the way he says these words that, like, if you could add just a sort of oath to it, maybe it would have made it like mean something. But just the way he says it, he's like, "Listen, I will never leave you. There's no way. We ain't even get started. I'm gonna need you to stay. And where you think you're going, there's no way. We ain't even get started. I'm gonna need you to stay." It just sounds like, where you think you're going? Where you think you're going?
Oh no!
It sounds like the Andre 3000 song with Kid Cudi. Remember, where it's like, "Hey, where you going? Where you going?" And you hear like the snapping in the background. You're like, "What's happening? Do you guys know how to do romance at all?" Like, It's not just sounding like you're really obsessed with someone. That's not. Oof. Oh no! And then We Shine. Oh my God, absolutely nothing. There's one line in here where, again, this is supposed to be another like, "Oh, for my lady's song," but he's speaking like this, kind of slow, and then he puts on a Jamaican accent to be like, "Yo, I'm capping, stabbing, me say capping, stabbing, we full up a liquor, we gon' fuck up the bed." That was supposed to be the rhyme too. Capping, stabbing, me say capping, stabbing, Mr. Captain Stabbing. Mid-2000s porn website. Music,
I was not going to mention that, but I've definitely seen that myself. And that's a really odd pull.
And just to do it in the Jamaican accent, it's just like, what? Where did this character come from?
You probably haven't heard about it, but they very recently had a tag team in WWE that they had to change the name they gave them for after a week of calling them it, because they named them the Banger Bros.
Oh, guys, you have to know. You have to know.
Oh, God.
I was like, what do you mean? What is other? No, you have to know right now what this is a reference to if you don't.
You're gonna carry a fucking casting couch down to the ring? Like, what the fuck, man?
And then, oh my God, this is the lyric. The We Shine song. Again, it's just like, "You shine brighter than a diamond. Baby, you shine brighter than all the stars. Baby, you shine brighter than all these lights in the darkness." This is the hook. And it's like, "Focus on you right now. Tear that down. I'm gonna tear that down." And then at the end of the song, he sounds like he's just talking to his like driver or something. He's like, "Hey, yo, make a left right here, man. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, where you going? Yo, hit the highway, man. Don't follow that navigation. Follow me. Hit the highway." And then that's the end of the song. Doesn't lead into anything. That was just, I guess he was recording his verse while he was on the way to his son's birthday party. And he was just like, "Hey man, wait, turn off. How do I turn off the camera recorder?" Then there was Dope, where the only cool part is the chick saying, "I get high." That was pretty cool. Then You Don't Want It, which Big Daddy Kane killing it. He fucking destroyed it. Again, that other song where it's just the girl saying, like a really well produced, like sounding voice saying, "I get high." And I was like, man, can I listen to that original song? I don't want to hear this song. This is just a slower, more boring version of it. But yeah, the You Don't Want It, Big Daddy Kane fucking killing it. Look, I've barely quoted anything from Prodigy, and everything I've quoted is like fucking boring. With the fucking Big Daddy Kane, he comes in and he fucking destroys it. He's like, I'm trying to live my life in peace and harmony, the opposite of Andrew Lloyd, drama free. But some of y'all be trying to play games constantly. But I recognize the shook ones. That's word to Prodigy. Dude even gives this man props like it was like, oh man, he doesn't even deserve it right now. He's not earning it. But he goes like, for sucker shit awards, y'all be first nominee, but quick to beat your chest and scream out, I'm a G. Where your loyalty lie and where your honor be? On everything, I swear y'all niggas is comedy. Like, oh my God, he's so like, clearly just goes like, yes, this is what you as an elder statesman of rap are supposed to do. Back to you, Prodigy. What do you have to say? Nothing in general.
Hey, Prodigy, it looks like you've got something to say. Do you?
And, oh my God, matter of fact, just to make a point, let me find the lyrics on one of these songs. Hold on, because I want to make a point about this, not just be like, oh, you know, you're just saying it's whack and you're not giving an example. Let's see how well this knocks your socks off. So maybe you put some
please.
Yeah, put some tape on them. So
let me try it on for size.
Exactly. Here's the verse from You Don't Want It. I know you want what's mine. Get your own shit. I know you want my wife. Get your own bitch. You heard? That was the start of his verse. A reference to a little big pun. That was the little reference there. That was the start to his verse. And then sex, drugs, and money, but music come first. Without having these beats, I would be lost. So first and lost. All right, great rhyme. I can't write greatness to production that's garbage, cold-hearted. I'm like, please get away from me. I don't want your bum life rubbing off on me. I'm picky than a female. I choose like a whore. I don't settle for less. Fuck that. I want more. I'm the best rapper alive. Them niggas lied to you. I decide who not to flip on and let him do their numbers. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, come check my eyes out, come see me. Yeah, Prodigy was who Lil Nas X had to go through to be allowed to, like, you know what I'm saying, get his smash hit. Sorry folks, you know, you gotta go through the proper channels, you know.
Ooh, fuck me, dude.
Best rapper alive after that. And with Big Daddy Kane right next to him. Spitting fucking flames. It's embarrassing.
That's fucking awful.
And then, oh my God, we got fucking I Heart You. And it's just as corny as you think it would be. It's I heart you to death. That's the hook. U plus P times 100 times 10. I'm like, did you write this when you were 17? Like, I heart you to death. U plus P times 100 times 10. That's the hook.
Fuck.
Dude. And then overdose. Like, the hook for this was not too bad, but the verse was straight mid-boring. And then Remy comes through with it. That's what's so annoying. Like, Remy comes through, and she, like, fucking completely, she was like, dude, just stop rapping on the track, man. Like, these people are showing you the fuck up. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like, it was like first class. This is Remy Ma, first class PJs. I be going coast to coast, floor seats at the game. Only time I know the coach. I was slapping the shit out of a bitch because she told a joke. Remy Muhammad Ali with the rope and dope. I was like, God damn. Oh, and then escapism, fucking nothing. Oh, wait, but this is the one. Remember we were talking a little earlier about your boy having a little propensity for some conspiracy theories, right?
Ah, yes, so, because in this one, I didn't mention it before, but a big sticking point on him, with him on the first one was GMOs.
Ooh, GMOs.
I need all my shit labeled because I don't know what the government's putting in my food.
You mean that thing that was a racist ploy to make people not trust Chinese food when really it was just the same ingredients that were in everything?
Well, that was MSG.
Oh, yeah, sorry. All these goddamn letters.
GMOs is a different conspiracy theory, probably also rooted in racism for some degree. Wait, but just not the exact same one.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like using science to be able to, like, make more of a food. Like, that's not automatically a bad thing, is it?
I don't know what's in it. I can't trust it. Alex Jones told me so.
But listen to this though. You've got to listen to this, right? Because this is a song to his chick, right? He's trying to tell her like, man, you're messing up. You're doing things sideways. I don't know what's going on with you. He's looking out. Yeah, I'm trying to do right by you, and it seems like you're going off the path. Like, so listen to this.
That sounds thoughtful.
Yeah, you just want to spend money and fuck my dick, smoke a bowl of weed and drink a bowl of licks. I put you on Illuminati, now you going crazy, believing everything on them YouTube pages. God gave you 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth. You should pay attention more than running all that mouth. It's a sin not to give information that can help. Save a nigga's soul, girl. I'm good for your health. I know you laugh at me with your friends here and there. Girl, all he do is talk conspiracies. I'm burnt. Can you believe this?
Wait.
Girl, you believe in everything on them YouTube pages? Now that's too far.
What the fuck?
Can you fucking believe? Can you believe it? Now, my 90s conspiracy theories shit, that all made sense. But on the internet, no, that's crazy talk.
I turned you on to conspiracy theories. I was looking out for you. I was trying to educate you. But now you've gone way too far and you're like, well, what the fuck do you expect? That's what happens. When shit isn't based on anything, and you just tell people shit you heard off YouTube.
This is how you already wanted to feel about something.
Then what the fuck do you think is gonna happen?
I love it so much. The hypocrisy.
That's incredible. Fuck.
Oh, man. And then the next track, Flirting with Death. The sing on the hook is okay. Big Noid, who I have only known as being like the quintessential representation of the weed carrier rapper. Who, let me see, who did he rap with? Mobb Deep. Okay.
Okay.
And even then, I thought his verse was better than fucking Prodigy's. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, yo, like I came into this track being like, well, at least he's going to outshine this guy. And I was like, oh, shit. And then he brings up we the new version of Mickey and Mallory. And I'm pretty sure he already brought that up at least like 2 times earlier on this album.
He has to have. Yeah.
Pretty sure he probably brought it up on your album that you listened to.
You know, it doesn't ring a bell, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
And then I think it's the last track, The Other Side. The beat's all right, but man, in the second verse, he just straight up gets off beat. Like he's like, "She not going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. We gonna die together." But he keeps saying something about she ain't going nowhere. You ain't leaving me. He's just like, "Oh, okay."
Fucking awful.
Overall, I gotta give this a 1.5 out of 5. This is absolutely abysmal. Abysmal.
Yeah, I would say that the songs in that last little stretch definitely saved mine from just getting an absolute trouncing. But yeah, man. The first half of it is really fucking terrible. And if it weren't for those last 4 songs, it probably would have gotten like a 1.5. Because that, I think, yeah, it would have gotten like a 1.5 for sure. What a terrible way to go out. Can we just like admit to that it's like, yeah, okay, your last album during your lifetime is a fucking dud. Okay.
Just doubling down on the worst aspects of your... Oh, man.
Yeah, 5 years later, trying it again, and just fumbling again. With just like, oh, man. Didn't record anything good before he passed on?
It doesn't even really sound like there needed to be, like... maybe this should have all been on one album. Like, what difference did it make from one song to the next? Good Lord.
Can you imagine, though, if he did just sync all the material into one, like, 2-record opus And it was like, wow, he really went out on a fucking 2-record collection, and it just being doubly bad. Like,
what sucks is that the songs that you said that there were some good songs at the end of your album. So the one before he died was actually kind of okay, and then it was just like the posthumous one just completely squanders anything that could have been for that.
Yours absolutely was the leftovers for sure.
And I heard someone say, because we live stream the album, twitch.tv/rapcritical, if you want to join these album listens, that someone said, like, yeah, it was kind of conflicting because, final conflicting or whatever the hell that other group is called. Because, you think at the same time, hey, here's the last piece of art and the people who love them, they want to hear every bit, they want to take it all in, you know what I mean? There's that. But then there's also like, but it's not what they would have finally wanted, so it's not coming out the way they wanted to come out. So like, what is the point if it's just gonna be like it's not gonna be the way they wanted it to be? Like
yeah.
It's not gonna be their vision. So it's like So like this rubs. But either way, like I couldn't imagine it being too great. Like it's one of those things where like, I've never been the biggest Mobb Deep fan, but I've heard their earlier stuff and like Shook Ones and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, you can hear some energy, some pep in their step. But it's like, with this, I hear the exact same sort of slowed down, too slow flow that I hear from pretty much every like 90s rapper except for fucking Ghostface Killah, it seems. Where everyone just seems to slow down and think that they don't need to be like, everyone who's gonna like me is already gonna like me, so I guess I don't need to try. It's like, or you could try.
I've given y'all enough. Leave me alone.
It's like, I mean, if you don't want to, then just don't make like, if you don't sound like you're interested in it, that's what it feels like. It's like, look, buddy, if you're not interested in this, you can't just stop. Like.
Oh, man. Well, that was quite the interesting episode, folks.
And under 2 hours somehow.
Yeah, how about that? I hope you enjoyed it. And if there is an album that you would like to hear us talk about on a future episode, head on over to our Ko-fi. That is ko-fi.com/goinoff, GOINOFF. Our queue is currently under 30. It is shrinking by the episode, folks.
Now look at that.
I know. It's exciting times. And make sure you're following us on Twitter and Patreon and our Ko-fi. I'm just going to go ahead and say this because since I haven't really mentioned it in a bit, but I've been way more active on TikTok lately. I've actually been posting like 1 or 2 videos a day on there. Look
at you being part of the new generation. It's a whole new world we live in. Patreon.com/rapcritic if you want to join your boy. I'm doing new episodes that are up exclusively, as well as my movie podcast, where we, what have we just reviewed? Oh my God, I'm about to record the episode for Soul Man in a couple of days. Yes, the 1986 movie with C. Thomas Howell.
Oh, wow.
So that's
I've never actually seen that. I only know about it. That's interesting. Yeah, yikes.
Yes, that's gonna happen. But yeah, get with it. Act like you want it. Patreon.com/rapcritic, as well as Ko-fi.com/rapcritic for anything that's not a album request, for a song request on twitch.tv/rapcritical, or an album request to like just listen through, not a review, just to like, listen along, or a best of artist requests. I'd be taking those in too, you know what I'm saying? Like, get with it. Act like you want it. Ko-fi.com/rapcritic, you know what I'm saying? To get those requests in, you feel me? I think that's all I remember. Oh yeah, and also movie requests is I'm so good at advertising, you guys. I'm serious. But anyway,
you got to cover all the bases,
That's right.
But you're on California time, so.
That's right.
Well, actually, it's no excuse because it's earlier where you are.
I should have gotten up even earlier. Look at you.
But that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for spending your time with us and listening to our show. And until next time, for Going Off, I'm Mues.
And I'm Rap Critic, and it had been for Cotton Eye Hoes. I'd been country a long time ago. After the 90s, where did you go? Where did you go from Cotton Eye Hoes?